Everyone likes to see a good face-off. Here we go with a 2-on-1 face-off between Amazon and Temu and Harbor Freight and Temu. Welcome back to Victory Woodworks with Vic. I'm Vic. Today we have an exciting face-off for you. We'll be comparing 3 tools that every woodworker needs, but here's the twist. We'll be examining products from 3 major online stores: Amazon, Harbor Freight, and Temu. We'll be diving into 4 key aspects of the product purchase and use experience. The first is the shopping experience. That includes shipping cost, shipping time, return policy, and packaging. Second is product fit and finish. Third, and most important, is product performance. And finally, cost. I'll be using the Victory Scoring System, or VSS as it's called. It's a weighted scoring system to judge the best tool and shopping experience. The weights are as follows. Number 1, 10% for shipping experience. That includes online website, shipping, packaging, and returns policy. Number 2 is 10% product fit and finish. Number 3 is 50% for product performance. And number 4 is 30% cost. Each tool should be ranked in each category on a scale of 1 to 3. 1 being the worst, 3 being the best. The best possible overall score is 3. So let's get started. First up, the table saw featherboards. Now, featherboards are crucial for safety and precision when working with your table saw. I ordered these both from Amazon and Temu to see how they stack up. Okay, here is the Amazon version coming in a bag in a box. Let's open this up. Called TrueFlex Featherboard. Orange. Box is sealed up pretty tight. Looks like it's in a giant Ziploc and a box. So let's just open this up and see what we got inside. That's interesting. They're orange on this side, but the blue inside. Here are the feather locks. These look a lot like standard featherboards. Teeth bend all the way without breakage, which is always good. All right, give me a second to put these together, and we'll get right back to the evaluation. I think we should look at the directions, which are not here. All right, so the box does not come with directions. Should be pretty self-explanatory. We have screws or a bolt with a wedge and what looks like the for a miter slot, a T-slot. I don't know if you can see those. I believe the wedges will go into these bars that spread. All right, let's toss those in there. And these will go in here. That'll open up the wedge so it sticks inside the miter gauge. All right, one side does fit. It's used for the other side. Although, hold on a second. Okay, I'm trying to put these things together, and they come with these short, expandable, I guess, runners that go into your miter case, but they don't have a long one. So I'm trying to figure out exactly how they're supposed to fit. Now, here are my bench dogs, which are very similar. I mean, they look identical, except for the little smiley face here, but they have a long one, so you can sit there, put this in your miter saw, in your miter gauge or miter slot, and then slide it in and out as you need to. These don't have that, so I guess the idea is you can go this way, but the problem is, you know, the blade, you need it to push up against the blade. So it's not clear to me how these are supposed to fit in a miter gauge. You can double stack them, it looks like, by putting in these spacers in between, you know, like that, and then stack it on top. That's great, but you still can't put it in your miter slot. So, all right. Not sure what that's going to mean, but I'm not 100% sure how these would be usable, because this slot, if you can see, does not span across these two pieces. So great, you got the direction it's supposed to go in, but unless these can only be, not even then, even on the the router table, this is still not long enough. You would have to go, you can't go perpendicular, is basically what we're trying to say here. All right, so there's that. Now let's check out the Temu version. It comes in here. We'll pop that open a little bit. So here's the Temu, so you can see these look identical. I think we're going to have the same problem, and we will. So essentially, these did come out blue. Packaging is about the same. Actually, it's identical. These are identical in every way. Let's see. They look the same. The issue I have here is that you don't have a long bar like this. So I'm just trying to figure out, unless I'm getting something wrong, how would you mount this to your table saw? You can only put it like this. Allow the short ones to go this way and expand, but on a table saw, the blade's going this direction. We've got the featherboard pushing way out here. I'm not sure. This is how it should be mounted, this way. You see how that just doesn't look safe or right. Yeah, I mean, that can't be right. That can't be right. I think these packaging, what they don't tell you is you're missing something. You know what? If it had one of these long ones, it would totally work. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to give this the fail on both sides. TrueFlex Featherboard. You are a Featherboard. A Featherboard can be used, but not with these pieces. I think what we need to do is to get another one of these longer pieces like we have on the back of the bench dog version, because I just don't see how you can put it in to the miter slot and then it's just too flimsy. I would not trust this. In this current configuration, without one of these longer bars, I would not trust this. And you know what? This one is identical. Maybe what we'll do is we'll try the Temu return policy, see if we can remove this. But I'm looking in the bag here, and again, it's the exact same pieces. So you know what? I'm going to give a fail on the product overall, because I don't see how that product could actually work as is. I didn't notice that when I was looking on the online sites for either one. I didn't realize that these weren't connected. Okay, from a scoring perspective, let's total up what we have. So on the Amazon product, we got 3 for shipping, we got 3 for product fit and finish, we got a 0 for product performance, because again, I'm thinking these are too small, this configuration is not safe. I wouldn't use it this way. It's possible we can reuse some of the other parts. There is that, but we'll see. And from a cost perspective, Amazon was $13.99. It was cheaper than the Temu version, so we give Amazon a 3. Total everything up, we got a 1.5 for Amazon. On the Temu, we got a 2 for the shopping experience. We got a 3 for product fit and finish, since they were identical. We also got a 0 for the failure here, because again, we got an unsafe operation, at least in my view. Perhaps I'm doing something wrong here. Again, tell me in the comments. But I wouldn't use it this way. Again, I might reuse the parts, or I may actually send this one back to test out the return experience with Temu. And from a cost perspective, $15.28, which is 8% more than the Amazon. So give that a 2. This comes up with a 1.1. So the winner for the first product is Amazon. Although I think it failed from a product performance perspective, and I wouldn't buy it. There are other versions that may cost a couple dollars more that will have the proper, at least what I think is proper, miter slot bar to allow it to function safely on your table saw or anything else that's going in this direction. If you need lumber or whatever to be pushed this way and to keep it from kicking back. So again, fail on the product, but of the two failures, I think the Amazon one won in this failure. Moving on to our second product, F-clamps, a staple in every woodworker's toolkit. Let's see how these stack up. Okay, so here we have the Temu F-clamp. Comes nicely wrapped, this little bubble wrap, and there's one. Okay, in the product picture, they showed 3. So let's see how that's going to affect everything. This is a 6-inch F-clamp. And then above my head here, we've got quite a few others. The reason I bought this is they look just like the Harbor Freight version. And you know what? Other than the color, this being shiny blue, this being a, I don't know, textured gray, they look to be identical from all aspects, you know. Let's see here. Seems to twist. They both have rivets here. This looks like a, I don't know, potentially a lower quality steel, but you can't tell from just feel. They both have grooves. They both have 2 stops here. Now, I will say the spring in here seems to be tougher or harder or heavier, I'm not sure what the right word is for a spring, than the one here in the Harbor Freight version. But they look identical. You know what? Other than color and a little bit of texture, they look identical to me, both printed 6-inch. Let's see if they really are 6-inch. Open them all the way up. They look to have the same jaw depth. Perhaps Harbor Freight is just, all right. So right at the 6-inch, Harbor Freight is 6 and looks like 3/16. All right, so roughly 6-inch clamps. Like I said, they feel the same. I don't discern difference here, other than the little actuator for the quick release being a little tougher on the Temu version. So let's take a rundown here. Let's start with the Temu first this time. Shipping experience, 6 days. Shipping cost was free because overall everything cost, I think, more than 35 bucks. So they say certain shipping will be free. In this case, it was. Shipping time was 6 days. Returns we didn't test, although we may on the other product. Packaging was basically, you saw bubble wrap, plastic inside of a plastic bag. Actually, not Amazon. Harbor Freight, I went to the store and I bought these. I've got three in my neighborhood, so I can go in any direction and essentially get to a Harbor Freight store. So I'm not really going to compare the shopping experience, other than I bought these in the store and I bought these online. So I'm going to give them both 3s so that we're both equal from the shopping experience. I could have bought these online, and we'll get to the pricing in a second. Product fit and finish, I think they both work. I don't think these are the best clamps ever. I think I've got some other these Jorgensen ones up here. They're 6-inch. Actually, these are 4-inch. And I've got some Bessies here, which, let me drop these down. Again, you know what? This one feels a lot more tension-wise like the Bessie. This texture is the same type of metal as the Harbor Freight. And then the steel here are this way. So I think this is 6" also. So I would say this clamp feels more like the Bessie, but the Harbor Freight looks more like the Bessie other than colors. But we're not really comparing it to the Bessie right now. We're just comparing between Harbor Freight and Temu. So product fit and finish, I'd say they're equal. They both feel good. Maybe the Temu gives you a little better feel. I'm feeling the handle. I don't know, I'd say they're about the same, cheap clamps. So I'm gonna give them both 3s. Performance, they work. I mean, I can tell it works. Here, let's crank it down and see if we can get this to strip out. No. And these. So it'll clamp. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I wasn't able to strip it out of here. Sometimes these let go, but these have not let go. And neither have these. So that'll be our performance test. Maybe what we'll do is, if you guys say so in the comments, we'll do a test between all 3 clamps and see if we can break them. But we'll have to see about that. So that's the performance part. Again, equal performance so far. We'll give them both 3s. Total cost. Harbor Freight, $349. The reason I bought these is because they look like the Harbor Freight clamps, and the picture showed 3 of them. So these are $11.95. So for $11.95 for 3, that would have been about, you know, almost $4 for each clamp, which would have been a little more comparable to Harbor Freight, but it was only 1. I would not spend 12 bucks on that, but I would spend 12 bucks on this. At least that's my thought process right now. Maybe what we do is we do the test and see if we can break the clamp. So from a pricing perspective, Temu will give it a 2, and Harbor Freight we give it a 3. So when we score it out, Harbor Freight scored a 3 on our scale, on the VSS scale. Temu got a 2.7. Again, from a value perspective, this is 3 times the price. It's more than 3 times the price. You get a 70% discount buying the equivalent clamp at Harbor Freight versus Temu. So you know what? I go with the Harbor Freight. Last but not least, let's talk about rubber sanding blocks, an essential tool for achieving that smooth finish on oddly shaped pieces. So from Amazon, came in this bag. We have a bag with a bag full of little rubbery things. All right. From Temu, we have a bag and a bag also filled with rubbery things. I'm just trying to see if these both made in China. They don't say anything different. Nothing special about anything that's on there. So here's the Temu version. And you know what? These happen to be the exact same size. They got some flex. Let's give it a quick try and see what we can do here. All right, we've got sanding disc. We'll take it. This one seems to fit, the larger one here. Just wrap it around. Seems to work. Seems to work. So from that perspective, you know what, I'm not going to test out all 16 different shapes because you know what, they seem to be made the same way. These are the opposite. This is rounded out, so if you wanted to go into a divot, this is if you wanted to go around something round. Kind of fit together like that. So from that perspective, they're identical. At least from what I can tell, these pieces all look to be identical. They're not quite rubber. They're probably made of some sort of rubber, but they've got a little stiffness to them, especially the middle part here. So that keeps them kind of straight. So from that perspective, they look to be the same. All right, let's get down to scoring here. Again, shipping, same as before, exactly the same. Amazon wins over Temu. Product fit and finish, they're identical. Give them both 3s. Product performance, I have no doubt that these are going to perform the same way. Only time will tell if they wear any sooner or not. So I'm going to give them both a 3 on the product performance. Cost. Amazon was $20.23. Temu was $16.24, giving you a roughly 20% discount if you go to the Temu version. Since I can't tell the difference, I would go with the Temu version. So as we score this up, it's 2.9 for Temu and 2.7 for Amazon in our VSS scale here. So go with Temu. So there you have it, our comparison of 3 different products. From a shipping perspective, Amazon won online, Harbor Freight won if you're going to the store, because there are no Temu stores around here as far as I know, and I didn't try the Harbor Freight online, again, because the store is like literally a couple miles away from me. From a product perspective, this product from both Amazon and Temu, I don't think it's safe. I wouldn't use it. From a clamp perspective, if you need cheap clamps, and you need a lot of clamps like I have up here, you know what? Go to a Harbor Freight, buy them for $3.50 each. If you want something a little more quality, perhaps check out the Bessie clamps up here. I don't see the advantage of buying Temu clamps from what I could tell, just looking at them and just kind of feeling them out right here in front of you. From rubber blocks, it looks like they came from the exact same place. The only difference is these were a little bit cheaper, 20% cheaper than the ones on Amazon. So you know what? Go with Temu. If I was buying cheap Chinese tools, which one of the stores would I pick? Well, if I needed it right away, as in like today, and Amazon couldn't do today delivery, I would most likely go to Harbor Freight, because literally they're right down the street. It's very easy for me to just drive there, pick it up, and bring it home. Prices are comparable to what you can get in Amazon and Temu. Amazon probably has a larger selection and has a selection of probably better tools than what you can get at Harbor Freight. Temu has a large selection of very inexpensive, cheaply made tools that, as you can tell, in some cases don't work. In other cases, they're just cheap. It's really up to you to decide what works for you. Ultimately, the best choice depends on your individual needs and budget. I hope this comparison has helped you make an informed decision. Remember, it's not just about the tool, it's about the craftsman who wields it. If you found this video helpful, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Victory Woodworks for more in-depth product reviews and woodworking projects and tips. Until next time, thanks for watching and stay passionate.